Hello, I'm back. So, in my last reading, I did a reading on the tormented souls, those who are struggling. Um, if you watched that video, I mentioned that Lee Alexander Mcqueen came to me today and gave me some messages. I did touch on some of those messages in the other reading, but I'm going to share some of the other things he told me. Okay, he really wants me to share with you guys his messages. It's crazy because I saw him smoking a cigarette. He's like, yeah, tell them more about me, like tell them, like really wanted me to speak. So let's see here. So he says, I was talented. I created magic. My clothing was emotions. I could create your dream before you with my clothing. They made you feel. Okay, so his clothing made you feel, like his creations, like you felt. The clothing just had like a vibration, let's just say, okay? Just looking at his clothing just gave you a feeling, whether it be the colors, the way the garment was shaped, just every part of it made you feel. Okay, he also said they hurt me, everyone hurt me. He also told me that he loved the cologne Chrome Heart. Okay, Chrome Heart cologne or Chrome. He also said they pushed me out. So he was telling me that not just the media, but the industry had pushed him out. They somewhat made him feel ostracized. Made him feel like they kind of shunned him. He also said that they didn't like him. Some people didn't like him because he wasn't playing it safe. Okay, he wasn't playing it safe. He was totally different. Okay. He also told me that Naomi was a good time. Naomi Campbell was a good time. But not a reliable person. He said she was a user. He also told me that she was Spiegel from The Lord of the Rings. He said, my precious, but has another side. So one minute she'll be like sweet and kind, like, oh, you're my precious. And then the next minute she's like stabbing you in the back or talking about you or just acting different. Like she has kind of two sides. And that probably makes sense because she's a Gemini, and Geminis kind of have two sides anyways. So that's what he said, that she was a good time, but she was not reliable. Like you couldn't count on her to be a true friend. And it could be because she had other things going on, but she also had her own agenda. Like it was kind of like what's in it for me type deal. Okay. He also said that, Alexander McQueen, the brand is still out there. People are still buying the fashions, but he said, you are not buying my creations. You're not buying my visions. So that's what he said. He also said that they got rid of someone that was a creative editor or a visionary, a director or something like that. He said that he was actually helping her. But he's not helping the brand anymore. So there was someone that worked there that had influence, or they worked there at Alexander McQueen, like the brand. They worked there, and they were like a creative director or something like that. They got rid of her. I guess the company got rid of her. And Lee said he was helping her behind the scenes, like he was helping her with her visions and with her creations, and now he's saying he's not helping anymore. Okay. I also mentioned this in the other reading. He said that women are like Aphrodite. He says, I protect women because I see how mom was treated. I protected her. when I asked him, why do you want me to call you Lee instead of Alexander McQueen, he's like, call me Lee. My mother named me. And then I heard Robert E. Lee. So I don't know if I was getting like a feeling, I couldn't get clarity on this, but I was getting a feeling like that name Lee was in the family. Like he's named after like an uncle or something like that. He's named after like a familiar person, okay? And I feel like it's family related or something. What else? He also said they don't like you, or he said they don't like you because you are different. They are threatened by your light, your uniqueness. So he was saying that how the industry was, they don't like certain people because they're different. If you're not following the crowd or like sheep, then you're an enemy or you're shunned. Okay, if you're not doing what everybody else is doing, okay, you're kind of like shunned. So for some, it's like if you're not drinking and smoking, doing drugs, or if you're not rocking the same fashions or whatever, they shun you. So he was saying that that's kind of how it is. I also was asking him what type of cards I should use, because I was going to use the Black Tarot, and he's like, no. He's like, I need Technicolor, and he gave me the vision of the Wizard of Oz, because you know how when the Wizard of Oz starts out, it's in black and white, and then it goes to color. It's like, he's like, I want color. So, oh yeah, I wrote something else down. I asked, like, well, what do you want me to do a reading on? And he says, do a reading on, oh, I think I wrote the wrong thing down. Oh, he said he wanted me to do a reading on how he felt when he was creating in the physical. So I'm going to do a reading on how he felt when he was creating in this physical world. He says, I'm at peace. I can't hurt anymore. So he's at peace. He can't hurt anymore. When he was in the physical, he dealt with a lot. There was a lot. I mean, as you can see here, it was a lot. Okay. There's a lot. Look at those different phases of the moon. So it's a lot going on in the mind. He said, I struggle a lot with my mind. The ideas would come to me, but it was a blessing and a curse. So some of those ideas are very creative. He had a lot of vision, but other thoughts that came in, they weren't good. It was like dense, dark thoughts. So it was like a blessing and a curse. Like the ideas that he would get, there would be good ideas he would get and bad ideas he would get. Okay, so it was a blessing and a curse. He also said that there was pressure to do better instead of just being. So one thing he wished he could do was, when he was in the physical, is just be and not be so pressured to be better. It was like a competition type energy. Pressure, lots of pressure to perform. Imagine you get so big, the expectations are out there. The criticism can cause a lot of damage as well, especially if you have an internal critic. So, okay, Lee, we're going to do a reading on how you felt when you were creating the physical. Lee, how did you feel when you were creating in the physical world, Lee? I just got a flash of light. He was on cloud 9. He felt like he was the sun. Like it felt like his arms were spread out, like he was shining. He was living his dream. He felt really good. Okay, reaching out. Okay, he had a lot of connections, working with a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people were reaching out to him. A lot of people wanted to work with him. It's just there was a period of time where he was just sitting, and just the inquiries was just coming in. People wanted to collaborate, opportunities. So a lot of people were reaching out. I also was hearing that some people were trying to use him as well, Okay, daydreams and decisions. So the daydreams, I feel like that represents like his imagination, like his creativity, his creative visions, insights, which has come to him, and then he would implement that in the physical, or he would create that, through his clothing. It was pretty much like art. Okay, he was a visionary. Okay, he was definitely a visionary, and people appreciated that. They loved it. It was futuristic, the type of work or type of art that he had put out there. Because, I mean, being a clothing designer, it's art, okay? He was an artist. I was hearing creative director. He has also collaborated and helped other designers as well. He would make even corporate decisions, like serious decisions as far as, like materials that would be used for the clothing. When it came to fashion shows, the vision, like people relied on his vision, okay? He would make a lot of decisions. So he did like that, but there was also, he told me there was also pressure because he felt like what if he made the wrong decision, like, as far as the vision of the fashion show, like what if it tanks? So he also dealt with that inner criticism or that inner dialogue as well. He was also worried about failing, okay? It was like an energy of overachiever, and I kind of felt like it stemmed from his childhood too, okay? Because I felt like his mother, I mean, it's said that his mother was very supportive, but I felt like his mother, like he didn't want to disappoint her, okay? And so that kind of carried over into his work, like always trying to do the best, be the best, which can put a lot of pressure on someone. Wow, trust. So look at this card, okay? And I saw that, earlier, just with the arms out. Okay, I actually saw a different card. It wasn't this card, but it's very similar. Okay, so we have the trust here. So people trusted him. He also trusted his vision. He knew that there was no one like him. Like he knew that there was no one like him, and he was very cocky about it. And he wasn't afraid to be cocky about it at all. Like he trusted his vision. He knew that no one could create like he could create. Like he had, it's kind of like having the gift of gab, but he had the gift of vision, okay, and creativity. Okay, people trusted him. He also trusted his gifts and talents. Okay. Okay, yep, darkest fears. He also had a lot of stress, worry, okay. I was hearing that he had to be in like several different places at the same time. Like he was just being pulled in different directions. It was very high stress. It's non-stop as well. He was showing me that he was, having to take certain supplements to stay up, which affected his mind more, okay? He dealt with a lot of fears, anxiety, fearing the worst, and it's crazy because he came off as very confident, but inside there was a little bit of insecurity there inside, okay? Fear of not performing, okay, or doing his best. So there was some fear there, sleepless nights, just on. I mean, he's showing me him being up and watching the sunrise. So he didn't get a lot of sleep, I can tell you that. But he experienced so much. It's so crazy. Like he's experienced so much, like behind the scenes, that a lot of people would have never imagined. Spread your wings, okay. I felt like there was an energy of him wanting the pressure off of him. He didn't want to people please anymore. I also feel like he kind of wanted to get out of fashion. Like he wanted to get out of it because it wasn't fun anymore. He wanted to embark on his own lane, do his own thing. He wanted to create a new path for himself. Okay, but it's kind of like an energy of, okay, what do I do next? This is all I know. Like, all I know is to make beautiful clothes, and it's like, what, it's kind of like an energy of like, okay, what do I do next? But I felt like he was open. Okay, he was open to trying something different. Okay, but I feel like there was somewhat of a procrastination or hesitation. He was telling me that he would think a lot, like he would be in his head a lot. Like there are certain things that he wanted to do, as far as shifting his career, shifting the path that he was on, but there's a lot of procrastination. It was kind of like, okay, I'll get to it tomorrow, or I'll do it the next day. Like it's like an energy of that. Okay, but there was a desire to spread his wings and to fly and to be free from just what he was experiencing, okay, in this fashion world. All right. I was hearing accept me for me. Like he wanted some type of acceptance. He wanted to be accepted for who he was. I was hearing like people love me, but there was a lot of fake love. That's what he told me. Okay, giving and receiving. Okay. He trusted a lot of people. He also was open to a lot of people. There were a lot of people that wanted handouts, people that he didn't really trust. I don't know. Like there were some people he didn't trust, but then there were there were other people that he did trust, but they were only out for what he had. Okay? They're only out for what he had. I was hearing freebies. Like there were people who just wanted freebies. They wanted him to make dresses for them. There is someone, I don't know if I can make out this person's face. I don't know why I look like Beyonce. I don't know. But there's a celebrity who he made a dress for, and he thought that, it of course would give him more exposure, of course, but I don't know, this person decided to act funny or act weird after he provided her with this dress, this beautiful dress. I don't know why I was seeing Beyonce. I was seeing Jennifer Lopez as well. I was getting a vision of them. I don't know if maybe he's just putting it in my mind for a reason. I don't know, but there is some fake love here, okay? There's people always with their hands out. There's also people he couldn't trust, and okay, there's people who he couldn't trust. There were people who would leak information out about him, gossiping, things like that. He said, I was loving and caring, but I also wanted to know what was in it for me. So people would come to him like that. They would come with that same energy. And so he started having that energy too. Like, okay, you want to be around me? Okay, what can you give me? What do you have to offer? You just weren't going to come around him just to be a mooch. Like, I think towards the end, he kept his circle small. Okay, towards the end, because it's very hard to trust people. Okay, what do you want the world to know right now? Your message, please. That's so funny. Lee's actually taking a bow, and he has like flowers, like taking a bow, like after a performance. Wow, he wants you guys all to know, to heal, that he's free. He's no longer a tormented soul. He was in tower mode, being in the physical. Like he was bound by a lot of chains. These chains could have been energetic cords. It could have been traumas, things like that, okay? Doesn't really look like him too much, but it's like he's free now. He wants the world to know that he is free. He is healing. He is releasing. He's, you know, I'm hearing I'm where I want to be, you know, even though the way he passed away was not good, you know. But he's understanding it. There was some shame there. I think there is shame there when it comes to how his mother feels, okay, because she was not happy with how he took himself out like that. But he is free now, and it's like, I feel like a lightweight energy. He doesn't feel burdened anymore. He was really going through some serious shit, like, and it's crazy because how does someone who's so creative and such a visionary go through something like that? But you see it all the time. People who are very rich and wealthy, gifted, talented, you know, they either end their life or something happens, drug overdose, you know. Just because you have a lot of money and fame and fortune doesn't mean that you're going to be happy. You know, it's deeper than that. Everybody goes through certain traumas, but he wants everybody to know that he is healed. He's released from the burden. He's at peace. I was hearing Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. I don't know if that was one of his favorite movies with Madonna. I don't know. But I just, Don't Cry for Me, you know, I'm fine, okay? This is what I'm seeing. All right. And what else? I think that's it. I don't know if I'm gonna, let me pull a Goddess Oracle card. Okay. Okay, Lee wants me to pick the 12th card. The 12th card. He also said he does not like the sneakers, the Alexander Mcqueen sneakers with the glitter on them. He says they're repulsive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He told me they remind him of shell toe Adidas. Oh my God, this is the same card that came out in the other reading, guys. The same card. It says, Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. So this is a message that all of you should receive. Okay, this is beautiful. Okay, so have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. Okay, expect a miracle. Expect it. This is the same card that came out in the last reading that I did for the tormented souls. This is amazing. I love that. Purification. It's time for cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. Love that. Love that. And this is definitely like an Alexander Mcqueen outfit, okay? He would create this. So I know that he's definitely here. I definitely know he is here. Okay, because this would be his creation right here. Okay, guys, this is the end of the reading. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to come back with some more channeled messages from Lee. I feel like he's coming through pretty clear, and I'm loving his energy. He is sassy as well. Or not really, I wouldn't say, well, maybe sassy and just kind of matter of fact. Like, he doesn't really bite his tongue, really. So I'm liking his energy, and I'm going to come back and do some more readings, okay, when I move to. So hope you guys have a wonderful evening, morning, wherever you're at, and God bless.